Everybody, welcome to Cat's Creations. Sorry, we're just a tad bit late. Facebook keeps changing stuff, so they didn't want to let me log in under my username, so we had to log in under Steve's admin account. So we're here, we're ready to go. So I apologize to those of you that have not received notifications because it's coming up under Steve's name instead of Cat's Creations. We'll figure that out after we are done with our live. So tonight we are making a Christmas bike rim decor, bike wheel decor, whatever you want to call it. You can get the bike wheels from a couple places. I don't know if they're still available. I did not check before we went live. This is a 20-inch bike wheel. So as you can see, it's fairly big. I prefer the 20-inch over the 16-inch. The 16-inch just looked too small. So if you're used to looking at a 14-inch Dollar Tree frame, it's an inch bigger on either side. So it really does not have the impact that I guess you would want if you were putting something together to put on a front door. Now, if you were making it for home decor to hang on a wall or to add, accents into someone's home, then maybe a 16-inch might be better suited. So with this in mind, remember that we're going larger, so if you, for whatever reason, decide to go smaller, some of the picks that I'm using tonight may be a little too large for your design because they're designed to use with a bigger wheel. So the wheel came from Craft Outlet. I believe, who else sells them? When I did my fall and patriotic one, I got them from Sims Pottery, which is a wholesaler. So you might check some of the other local places. I know someone had posed a question to Damon if he had the bike wheels, and I think he said he did not. So they're going to be kind of hard to find, but this will be the only one that I do for Christmas. And the good thing about this design too is, I'm looking at my ribbon, we're not necessarily doing a Christmas themed wreath. So you could keep this up through the whole winter just by removing the sign, which we're going to add a very small Merry Christmas sign just to kind of pop that Christmas feel to it. This came from Hobby Lobby. All the greenery tonight that I'm using either came from Sims, Joann's, Michael's. I'm trying to think. No, I don't have any from Hobby Lobby. So Sims, Joann's, and Michael's. So, and I bought these all last year, except for the Sims Pottery stuff. And then we're going to be building the frame a little bit different than the one that we did for fall, because we kind of built those like lantern swags. This one, because the pine branches all the way to the end do not have wires all the way to the tips, it's kind of hard to get it to feather into the frame aspect. So if we attach it to the outside, it's going to just kind of stand out like this instead of like this, which is what we want. So we're going to kind of be building it on the outside edge of our frame. So let me make sure I hit all the housekeeping items. If you like this design and you want to replicate it, save it or click the share button and share it to your page. That saves this video so it's easier for you to find once you get all your supplies in. If you want to be notified when we go live, make sure you hit the like and follow button. You need to do both in order to receive the notifications. YouTube subscribers, this is from Friday, October 23rd, the year 2020. So if you're catching this on YouTube, it is a replay of an earlier Facebook Live that we did today. But if you're a YouTube subscriber, do me a favor and click the bell on the upper right-hand corner. That will notify you when we upload new videos. If you're new, let us know. We generally find a lot of people make connections on Facebook Lives, and you might have a crafting partner that lives in the same city as you by going through the Facebook Live. And I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
That's it.
Hold on. I have like a cheat sheet of notes here somewhere. Somewhere I have one. And now I'm not seeing. Oh, here are my cheat sheets. Share, like, follow, YouTube subscribers, first timers. Got it all. Okay. So, do we have anyone joining us before I start?
Yep. We got about 100 people on.
Okay.
Karen, Darlene, Gail, Caitlin. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Donna, Robin, Nissy, Antoinette, Kathy Wienerson, Nancy Wynn, Dolly, Lolly, Erica, Karen, Audrey, Peggy, Rose, which is Lynetta, and so many, many more.
Okay.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Okay, so what you will need, you'll need your bike frame, bike wheel. I don't even know what they call it. I would think it's a bike rim, like a bike wheel rim, because
wheel.
all you're
Bike
missing
wheel.
is the tire, right?
Yeah, that's a wheel.
So this, people ask me, is it a real rim? In some respects, yes. It's got spokes. It's got the little hub on it. Everything goes into the edge just like a regular bike rim would, but it doesn't have like the hole for the valve,
Right.
I guess. So, and you can paint them any color you want. So keep that in mind. If you're ordering it from Craft Outlet and you don't want red, you can spray paint it any color you want. I wanted it red because we're gonna pop red greenery on it, and then we'll tie in little pops of like red berries and a little bit of red in the bow. But the red, basically for the most part, is gonna be the frame. Greenery is everything else. So we're ready to start. Materials, other than that, you will need 6-inch zip ties or 12-inch zip ties, whatever's more comfortable for you. You will need a ribbon for a bow. You will need some floral wire, a glue skillet or a glue pot, whatever your preference is. So we're gonna go ahead and start building. So the first thing that I want to do, and I always think about this in hindsight at the end, because I always add the sign to the end when you're doing the bike rim. So when you're using the smaller signs, and this is a 3x6, what you want to do ideally is you want to hang your sign on one of the spokes that is going horizontal, so that when you hang your sign here, it's straight. So if we hang it kind of like this, it gets really hard to try to find a way to get our sign to be straight. So I found if you just start with it straight, then when you build the rest of it, everything else will be straight. So the first thing, crazy, I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna attach my sign. And I'm gonna do this, I was gonna do a 26 gauge wire. I think I'm gonna go a little bigger. And the sign actually has holes already in it. It had the twine on it for more of a rustic look. And I want to say like the sign was like $2.99 at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby's got some cute smaller signs in. So I'm going to take everything to the back.
That's a good idea.
What?
Nancy Schaefer said, hi from Central Pennsylvania. I've been making wreaths with bike rims. She gets her rims from salvage yards.
Oh yeah, you could.
And, yeah, and then she just cleans them up and spray paints them any color she wants.
There you go. Do we have any place here that we could remotely even do the same
I think
thing?
our salvage mars are for like full size automobiles. I don't know if they have anything for like
For bikes?
Yeah, for bikes.
Or we could do, you could do a Facebook Marketplace request for, old bike rims or old whatever, because all you need is the rim. But you want to make sure it's the right size. Like I said, I just prefer the 20-inch. So once we have that, and all I did is just twist this on the back, I'm going to go ahead and add this right onto my frame. So I'll pull all these in. Get everything all lined up so it's easier to twist from the back. We'll flip this over. And then all I'm gonna do is anchor this on so our sign's attached and ready to go. The only thing that this will do is just slide a hair back and forward till it hits the cross of the spoke, but I'm okay with that. It's not.
But you could still twist it enough to where it wouldn't stop too.
No, you can't really. I mean, you would have to manhandle that puppy on there.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, not a problem for me.
You just need your needle nose.
Yeah, okay. So I'm just twisting it, and then I'll take my needle nose and bend the ends down.
Rita said, I have this rim and excited to see this being made.
Yay!
Pat Reed also said, looking forward to this.
I am super excited. I was playing with it before we went live. Let me go get my needle nose.
They're fun and easy.
Huh?
They're pretty easy, believe it or not.
Yeah, they are. So I'm twisting my metal part down because I don't want any, it's so far
Sharp
away
edges.
from there. Yeah. So see, voila, it hangs. So it's just nice, just like so.
It's like a little flap card you used to put in your deck of cards.
That's playing cards
Playing
is
card.
one thing. Okay, so we're done with that. So when you're designing, if you're gonna add a bow, you need to leave about the width of your hand for the bow. And then it's gonna depend on how wide your ribbon is. I'm using all 1.5 inches, so it's gonna stay the width of my hand. So when you put it adjacent to your sign, I'm looking at 2 sections that I kind of want to leave kind of open so that when I get ready to attach my bow, I can go ahead and attach my bow, and then I can come in and backfill it with anything that I need to. So this is bow area, and so we're building everything here and then everything around. So greenery, where did I get it? Okay. So you can buy your greenery like this. This is what I bought last year. Like, this is from Joann's. This was $9.99, but it was 80% off. And as you can see, it's got a lot of picks you can pull apart. There's at least 4 good sized ones with little pine cones, and it's kind of snowy. And I'm kind of going with just the dusting of snow, more kind of like the icy, glittery kind of look. So we need something to build our frame on. So with that being said, so you can tell I was playing with this one already. Playing. So these picks came from Sims, and they're great if you want to pull apart the items and use them in your evergreens or in your grapevines. This is going to be perfect for me because the stems are long enough that I can use these to build the lower half of my wreath, or the lower half of my swag. Basically, that's what we're creating. And then I have another one here that will be for our upper part. So I'll take all the tags off of them. And these already have bells. It has pine cones, has a couple different kinds of greenery, has some ivy, has some cedar in it. So these are, because these actually are wired to go all the way around. So this is what I was telling you. Here's the reason why we can't build it like we have in the past. Because what we have done in the past is we created what was basically like a really long table runner and then attach it to our rim. Well, here's the problem. So when you go and attach this and you try to pull any of these down, they don't want to stay down. Everything just wants to kind of stay up. And so the look I'm going for is, I'll show you here, more to where it's laying on the actual rim itself. So we're gonna build an upper section, a lower section, then we'll attach it to the frame. So that way, if, I don't know, if you're making this for yourself, you can just remove the upper and lower swag, change the bow, change out the sign, and then you could use this for patriotic, 4th of July. So we're gonna start with our one swag. So knowing that our sign goes here, if we look at it from here, I kind of like the way this feathers to the outside. So I'm kind of happy with this look being the outside, because we always talk about feathering the edges. You don't want to go heavy clumps, medium clumps, you know, and then you just stop abruptly. You have to have some items that kind of feather to the edge. So on this one, I'm going to do the same thing, which is just spread everything out. So when I come in and add other picks of like pine or greenery, I can place it right in here. So this one will kind of go, it's probably going to stop right about here. Right about there, right about there. Remember these sections? Again, look, I'll just put this here. So it's a mental note for me. Don't put anything here. So if you have a tendency of building too much, that means don't put anything on that section. So I'm going to start with my feathered edges on both of these. And then I'm looking at different picks of like pine. So like this will get added into our greenery. So all I'm gonna do is just like randomly pick things up, wrap these around my picks. So I'm creating volume to this. And then I have this one here. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to kind of spread this out and add more volume here. So I'm still building on that same pick. And then we'll bend everything to get it to form fit. So we're doing the same thing. Building on this. And then I have a big clump. I'm not sure if that was the one I was working on. Hold on a second, let me look. Must have been this one. Let me try it this way. Hold on, let me remove my tag. So I'm gonna go a little heavy. So let me pull the snowy one in. So it's gonna go from snowy to frosty. Just like so. Okay, there's that one. So I need to do the same thing with this one. So I'm gonna go down towards the bottom. Let me pull these ones all off and add this to what I had here. There goes the ice maker.
Yes, that's an actual bike rim, but it just doesn't have the valve stem.
I wanted it up and over a little bit more. There we go. And then we'll come in and we're layering. I like this one better on top. I like to see some sparkle. Just like so. Now I'll come in and do the same here. That one looked really good when I did it.
Hannah asked, where's the rim from?
Craft Outlet. I don't know if they're still available. So if Gail wants to do my detective work and see if that is still available, we can go ahead and do that. See what I'm saying? We're adding bulk to this whole piece. So I'm gonna come in.
And just like Kat said, if you don't see the red, you can buy any color and then just spray paint it red.
Yep.
Or white or black or whatever.
Whatever color you'd like. So I'm just coming in and still adding. And what I'm trying to do.
What do you think Gail said?
What? Hold,
please hold.
Please hold. Right. So this pick that I'm using right now came from Michael's. So I don't want to cover up the fun stuff that's included in part of that pick. So I'm just bending this sideways. So once I have everything kind of clumped together in a line, then what I'm going to do is go back, zip tie everything together so that I could literally pick the whole thing up and it's a one-piece unit. Same thing here, and then we'll zip tie that to the frame. Because it looks a lot nicer to have a little less stuff zip tied to the frame. So this is where it comes in handy to have a lot of picks that have really long stems. And you want to move them, like put them in a wide variety of different ways. Like the berries are all in here. You don't want to cover up anything too crazy. So I'm really cutting these way down, like way down here. So I have big stems to zip tie things together. Just like this.
Pamela, she's just laying everything out right now. Once she gets everything kind of all the in design she wants, then she'll start going back and
zip tying it all together.
Yep.
So I'm going to add some in here, pull my berries, all the pretty pines up to the front, just like so. I'm actually going to start to zip tie these. So you have your choice. You can use black zip ties, you can use clear zip ties. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to start towards the bottom where I have a lot of the picks all together. And what you're trying to do is get that to the center where your stems are. And then that's where you're going to zip tie everything together. So you can like move your branches to get to the center of the stem. And then once you've got that secured, then go ahead and snip those off. I'm gonna go up a little bit higher.
Do you remember how much you paid for the bike rim?
$19.95, maybe. I don't have the that invoice.
Well, if you always needed to in a pinch and you guys absolutely needed it, Amazon has one
For what?
$33.
Oh,
But
that's pretty high.
It's a high, yeah.
Yeah, and
it's a silver.
that's what you'll notice too, is a lot of places will sell them as legitimate rims. We don't need workable rims.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not going to put a tire on this bad boy and put it on a bike. So as you see, like, I'm gathering all my picks. See what I'm saying? I can pick the whole thing up together. That's what you want it to do. So move your branches out of the way and then get it down to where your picks are all together. Like, I'm trying to find the ends. And then I just kind of go up through the branches to the center and zip tie that together. It's so much easier to do it this way, and then we can just move pieces around, because we're going to still come back in and we're going to take the glue and we're going to add in like pops of red berries, pine that actually have the red berries on it. But see what I'm saying? There's the whole pick.
Pamela Frey said try Gerard's Family Wreaths.
Okay.
And she said she found them on there, 20-inch for $14.40 in red.
That's a good price.
So thank you, Pamela. That's good.
Now here's a question though: is Gerard's a wholesaler?
Pamela, is Gerard's a wholesaler?
Because some people don't have the wholesale aspect of that. So I'm gonna try to.
Rita, Kat already checked Deco Exchange, and Damon said he was not selling them.
He didn't have any.
He didn't have any.
Right. We want to clarify that.
Right.
Somebody asked,
He
do you
didn't
have
have
bike rims? And he said no. So I don't know if that is no, I'm not going to be getting any in. No, I don't have any. But it's definitely a question you can probably email and ask. Are you ordering them? A lot of times you have to order your supplies out like 6 months in advance before you'll have them in your shop. So if you had no intention on carrying them, the odds of you having them then are going to be kind of slim to none. So I'm going to add this one right here to the very end. And we'll trim up the ends too, so we don't have these big bulky pieces like here. So all I'm doing is I laid everything out the way I like it, going in and zip tying it all together. So I try to do it in a couple different places, because as you saw me placing these, I was, doing some kind of high, some kind of low.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I do have about 4 different places.
Gals, try not to add other websites' full name to the to your posts. Just say where it's from.
Let me see. Grabbing this one down here. Same thing. Just stick your fingers in between and feel for your frame. go between your branches so you're not zip tying everything down. And I think that should be it for this bunch. Voila. See?
One giant pick.
One giant pick. That's basically what we're doing. And so when we did this on the Fall and Patriotic, we made one giant swag, and it's because our fall florals had wire all the way to the end of the stem, so you could actually bend those in those directions. So let me go ahead, clean this up. There's that one. This one will be meatier. Should have got my bigger cutters. There we go. Okay. And I'm just gonna zip tie these to the end so they stay in their little clump and they don't separate. Because this is all gonna go under your bow. And do the same here.
Pamela, same thing. Yeah, she just posted a trendy tree
Has
link.
them too.
Well, they only have the 16.5.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. That's like what I was noticing at Craft Outlet is everybody had the 16, and I'm like,
Yeah.
don't want the smaller one. So,
Yeah, so gals, if you're on, just say check Trendy Tree or check White Bayou Wreaths and Supplies.
there we go. So what do you guys think so far? I know it's kind of hard. Can you see that from where you're sitting?
Yeah.
This section?
I can't see the front section though. I can see the side.
Oh, okay. It's kind of hard for me to hold it up right now because it's not secured anywhere. Like I don't have it zip tied to the frame where I could hold it up without the whole thing falling. Let me bring these in just a touch more. Okay. What I think I want to do is go ahead and create my bow, put my bow on, and then I'll add this to the frame, or we could just zip tie it to the frame. Let's just zip tie it to the frame. Then I can hold it up and show you. These ones I'm going to need the 12-inch ones because I have to go around the frame and then around my swag. Same thing, same concept. Just go around the swag you just built. There's one. I'm going to do this one here. This will not be here.
Pamela said the greenery looks so pretty against the red.
Doesn't it look pretty? Okay, there's that. Should just do that. Move this up. Trying to make sure my zip tie is the right, facing the right direction. Moving branches so I don't zip tie them down. There we go. Every single time I do that, I don't ever have it the right way. Like I have my zip tie upside down. Because you want it, the whole design concept is you want it to stay, but you also want to have some movement. So I'm going to go right here, going up. I completely missed my swag. There we go. Up, over, under. Okay, now I can hold it up and show you. Ta-da! So far, that's what it looks like. Like that. Pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay. Move my zip ties down into the inside so they're not on the actual outside of the rim. There we go. Okay. Now we will add our bow and then we'll start to embellish with more fun stuff. Okay, let me move these over here. Move these, one down. The problem with working with a lot of the floral that is covered with the snow is it's very messy while you're working with it. Not so messy once it's on there. Let's bring this to the edge. Okay. All right. Bow colors for tonight are going to be, we're doing brown because it's forest theme. We're doing the green and cream. We are doing the red with polka dot with fur, which is simulated snow. And then we're gonna finish it off with this. Although, this is what Steve says. We could do this one originally because I just got this in today. We could do this one too, which is the joy ribbon. So I'm like debating. What do you guys like better? The joy or the little snowball one? Joy or snowball? Joy or snowball? Because I'm just adding just a pop of red, not a lot. Because the frame itself is plenty red enough.
Yeah, they both work.
So.
But I do like the red with the polka dots now that you put it on there.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
You like the red with polka dots better?
Mm-hmm. Because they kind of match your little white balls on the picks.
Okay.
Whatever.
I don't know. I hate that. How many of you guys hate that when you're like, oh, I can't pick? See, I'm still leaning towards this.
Robin, yeah, those are all 1.5 inches.
Yeah, because I don't want to go 2.5 inches on this. It would just dwarf everything.
Mm-hmm. Gail says snowball. Anna says snowball. Rosalind said snowball. Donna says joy. Patty says both.
I know. Steve's like, can you just add both? And I'm like, it'd be way.
Consensus is snowball.
Okay. Snowball it is. So, where'd you get them? Brown came from Hobby Lobby in the EE box in the Christmas section. So all the ribbon that is marked EE all coordinates with brown. This one came from Craft Outlet. Oh no, Sims, because Steve was smart enough to write them all on there when I gave it to him. This came from Joann's in 2019, little Christmas tree. And then this is new at Craft Outlet. So we will start with the brown and create our bow. Ooh, did you see that? Do you see what it has on it?
Green stripes.
It has little green stripes.
You didn't know that?
No, I thought it was just brown because it seemed like the wrapper was holding it. So it's really nice. It's got little light green mossy colored stripes. I like that. I thought it was just plain brown. Dovetail. So wired edges together. You're going to cut from the fold to the tip. So just like so. And then you have your dovetail. And then what I do is hold the tail up to my ribbon and kind of figure out where I want it to fall. Like where's the longest point I want it to fall. And I'm thinking it's right about there, which is 8 inches, which works for me. So using our bow dabra, it's always going to be about the twist. So you measure off your 8 inches and twist and then push it in. And since this doesn't have a right or wrong side, you're just going to measure out your ribbon. I usually keep mine right on the 10, and I'm going to do this right at 5 inches. So make sure it's right at 5. And then this is going to be 5. Make sure.
John said the joy leans to more rustic like the other ribbons.
See?
It does.
That's my whole thing. It was. And I was trying to keep it rustic. But then red, bright red doesn't really scream rustic either. I don't know. We'll see. I think
it screams vintage, not rustic.
But we're going rustic. kind of the reason we did the bike wheel thing. What do you think? You're still saying this one.
Well, the bright color red to me is not rustic.
I know. But I'm not going to custom paint it down to a rusty red color. I could have. But then I would be like at the store trying to figure out what color rusty red. And then of course when you put it on there.
I found one that was more like a maroonish color, like a reddish maroon.
Yeah.
Dark red.
Okay, so now I'm going 7 inches, so I'm going to bring this up a little bit. So as you can see, I'm going to go a little bit longer, like 7.5 for that. And then I'm going to do 4.5 inch loop. There we go. And then 4.5. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it rustic. I might lean back to the other one.
Good question, Rebecca. She said, do you ever use the Bodabra string or Bodabra wire when you do use your Bodabra?
I do when I'm doing the tree topper bows or something really big that I need a lot to hold that all together. So if I'm doing the ones that go on the top of the Christmas tree, I use the wire, the Bodabra string / wire, because it's wire. Because it looks nicer than just having floral wire hanging off of that. Still thinking. I'll go with the loop.
Go with whatever you want to go with.
We'll make it. That one's interesting, no folded over edge. But I do like the little snowy effect on the edge with the ribbon. So this one will probably be 7 inches. Because I don't want to go too short. And this will be a 4-inch loop. So usually, like when I'm making my bows, people say, well, how do you know, what size loops to make? You can just go with whatever, like when Steve did his, he went with whatever he felt like. He's like, I want about this much for my bow. And then that's where he created his. If I'm adding and I'm working from the bottom up, I will take it down by like a 1/2 inch each time. Both on the loops, but also on the tail length as well. Mm-hmm. So it has a gradual stacked look, I guess. Okay. That one's done, and this one. Remember, we always finish with something pretty on top. So I'm going to do the pine trees because there's so much pine greenery in this design. And this one, I think we're going to do it 6 inches. It's just going to be the little piece at the end. So it'll have a 3.5 inch loop. So we started with like 5, 4.5, 4, 3.5 is how we built this bow. There we go. 3.5. And then 6. Right to the tree. And dovetail. So I think the dovetail's all done, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Ribbon's all finished.
So Pamela, were you able to get the captions on if you can read it?
I think we turn it off because people didn't like it being on. Right?
Well, they have the choice to turn
it on or turn it off.
Yeah, right.
I know. We also have the option though to turn them on when it goes live. I can go back into the settings and turn the notification parts on. So I'm using red because it matches my frame. And I'm going to fluff on the frame, not on the, let me take all this and move this over here.
Cindy said, so I would like to share a funny story. This
Okay.
past summer, we were at a garage sale and I put out my Bodabra since I hadn't used it for many years. Didn't sell, so I took. I guess I took it. So didn't sell, so I took EVY. I didn't sell to Goodwill. Started watching your tutorials and subscribed to your channel, and wanted my Bodabra back. So last week I went to Goodwill and hoping to find my Bodabra, and wow.
It was there?
There it wasn't a whole lot of stuff, so I bought it back for $4.
Oh, wow. Well, it's still a good deal, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're fluffing from here. So I'm just separating like a top and a bottom, but I'm going to do it on the opposite side too. We are going to need all the tails to go to the bottom, so we can just start pulling those there. And then the way we are doing one side is I'm just separating them like this. Same other side, bottom, pull the tails. On the outside, however, we can have the bow, the ends kind of splayed out in a wide variety of different ways. So I might go up with this one. Let's see, I need to go down. And I'm going to pull this tail, the brown, down. Same thing with the green. But the red and the pine I'll leave up and out. So I just kind of...
Yeah, it does, Lynn. She said sometimes when I have the captions on, it comes with some embarrassing and funny comments.
It really does. I mean, I think when we stream our church service, it's just like, really? He said that? Is that what they interpreted that to mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Now we will come in and start to embellish. Start to add some pretty stuff to here.
You can pick it up and show them too.
Fluffing.
They're fluffing?
Fluffing, yes. It's kind of hard to do this like this to keep fluffing and showing because I'm trying to build. Okay, so now with this, now we can kind of come in with some fun embellishments. So fun meaning I had this pick that's got little red berries on the end. So you can break it down in a wide variety of different places, or you can leave it full. It just depends. And then I'm just looking at, you know, randomly like sticking it under other pine branches to see, you know, do you like the way that lays? Because I'm trying to add some more sparkle and some more, and I know where I want it to be, but it's a little too long. So I'm gonna just take the berry part that I want to go where I want it to go, which is in next to the bells, and I'll hang on to that. Technically I can just pop all these off.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that one. Here we go. So I'm just kind of looking. Like this one's kind of nice because it hangs down. So I am just going to stick it in my glue skillet. I'm going to lift up my branch and kind of add that to the swag, if that makes sense. I'm adding to the swag. Just to give just a little bit of sparkle and pop. This one goes so nice. I wonder if I can get this to fit on that. Yes, I can.
Pamela said, I love the bow with the wreath. Perfect.
Thank you. So what I'm finding is some of my picks don't have greenery on all of them, so they have that little pointed edge where this would go, and so I could actually slide that right onto the pick, which makes a really nice touch. I'm looking for the berries though, like that. So I kind of broke that pick down. And sometimes, believe it or not, you have to create your own swag because you may not find something you like. sure I get all the glue. I think I want it right under here. And believe it or not, we do this quite a bit, like custom design your swag. So I'll spin that one that way so you guys can see, and I'm just pulling these all off. And just laying these. Sometimes I can lay them right next to the zip tie, and then not only does it help hide the zip tie, I'm just trying to get this one to lay the way I want it to lay. Yeeks. I don't want my berries hidden. There we go. You can lay it right next to where your zip tie is, and then it helps kind of cloak the zip ties. One more. I'm going to go to the outside, right here.
Yep. Cindy, yeah, that is made just for glue, the glue skillet. It's a sure bonder, but they don't make that one anymore.
Yeah.
But they do make similar ones. They're just not as big. They're like 4-inch or 5-inch. But you can get anything that has electrical, like an electric skillet, as long as it has an adjustable heat or temperature gauge knob.
Let's pull these off too. Just because they're too pretty not to use. They just have sparkle but nothing else. So I'll fan this around too.
Hi Tony. Tony said, Kat, I've been sitting here very quietly watching you. The wheel is not to my style of wreathing, but as usual, you did a beautiful job.
Oh, no worries.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where you just kind of, you just try, right?
Yeah.
Because somebody might love it.
Try new things.
Yeah, like when somebody first suggested it, they're like, are you going to do the wheel? I was like, nope, not doing that. And then someone's like, please do the wheel. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Yeah, it'll lay once we're back up there. Okay, so I'm looking for a couple more key pieces. My favorite pick of all times that they don't carry anymore. This is a glittered cedar from Sims. It's my ultimate favorite pick. I'm just looking to see if I want that just to feather just to the edge. Yeah, see what I'm saying? How it just stops short, so it's like I either have some berries or that.
Mm-hmm.
If I take this in, because it's kind of staggered, and just add this, let me get underneath to here, pull this up on top. Trying to get it to curve. Then it feathers the edge better, like this one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that one looked good.
No, I know right where it's going. It's just going into the end of my pipe cleaner. Or not pipe cleaner, zip tie.
Cindy said, I love this wreath, it's adorable.
Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, sometimes you just get the good placement, and like the one on the bottom, you kind of struggle a little bit. And then I'm looking because I'm seeing it from different angles. So we'll take this one. I just commit. I used to look and go, now I'm just like, oh, I'll commit and make it work. Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure if I want to add any red berries or not. I know I want to add some more pine cones, but I have like these big berries. But I'm thinking
Yeah, those
that
almost look too big, huh?
they do. I have a couple little ones. Oops. And I think I have some in the bucket too. Might take some of these. This is why you keep everything. You just kind of have like this. See, I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
You have like these little, what do you call them? They don't really like, they're odds and ends.
They're just little fillers, yeah.
Yeah, like odds and ends that you have. So we'll do what we do on that side, we'll do on this side. That makes Steve a happy camper. Because we're keeping it all
I've gotten over that.
symmetrical. So I'm trying to put like, trying to flip some of them so you have dark berries on one side, light berries on the other side. There we go. And these you can get from Hobby Lobby. So when you use them, you just peel them. And then you can go ahead and add them to your wreath. So I pull them as soon as I get the price tag little thing off of it.
Mary said, I am in love with the bicycle wheel. I have a fall wreath one. Love this one.
I love the fall one too.
And Sharon said those little berries look great. Yeah, the other berries were too big. Those do look good.
Yeah, the other ones were like jumbo berries. So see how I'm just like taking them and spreading them apart, but like taking some and making sure that there's like different colors. Both colors are represented equally on here. And then you can arc these. You could even use pip berries in here too. I think I want this one more on the top. Like that. Okay. There's that one.
Almost it, huh?
Hmm?
That's almost it.
Yeah. I'm just going to add some snowy pine cones because pine cones are great fillers. So this one's going to go.
Fun thing about the wheel too, it's easy to turn, rotate the wheel.
Right? Spin it. It spins well.
It's like a lazy Susan.
It is. Okay. So let me look really quick. Hold on. I have like a couple pieces right in here I want to add something to. So, like right in here. So like right underneath my bow, so you don't have this big gap. So I'm just adding this to those, what do you call it? The picks, the swag, the end of the swag.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that one. Didn't I have another one? I think I had one already cut. Well, let's see, you are like that, but you look much different. You look like one of these. Hold on, it's right here. Just like this one. So I'm just kind of lining the underside of the bow with this. Going to actually stick this to the underside of my swag. Ta-da. Okay. Let me add a couple pine cones and then we're done. Just that simple. Okay, pine cones. 1, 2. So I have these little snowy pine cones that came from another pick that didn't have a home. So I'm going in right on top. And just adding that. I know. It's at the perfect melting point. So melting but not burning hot. And then I think I had few bristle ones. Thought I had one here. Oh, here they are. One here and one here.
Jean said, beautiful as always, Kat. Hi, Jean.
Thanks, Jean.
Debbie said, beautiful.
So I like using some of the big, they're called brush pine cones. So I had like this one area where I had a hole, so to speak. So it fit in there perfectly. So I'll spin it around. So one in here. And then this one, keep thinking I'm grabbing my cutters. This one we're gonna add in here, down to the inside. What, I just commit.
And it's got jingle bells in it, so that's fun.
Yeah, it's got
Different
a red,
colors, green,
red,
and
white. Yeah, it's got red, white, and green jingle bells in it. Okay. Ta-da! Let me hang this up on the door so you guys can see, and then I can fluff the bow. It's hard to fluff laying down. You need to fluff while it's up. Okay. So, search down there and I'll go bye-bye. Ooh. Let's put it here. That way it won't roll off. Okay. Well, let's see. Where is it going to hang? Because I'm trying to get the Merry Christmas to go upright. There we go. So now, let's see. Go a little more. There we go. As my door rocks. Let's get that. What do you think? This one doesn't have much of a bow to fluff.
Pamela said, I like the sign. Never tried this method or a sign on my rims. I learned something. Thank you.
You're welcome. I find that if you get small signs, like no more than like 6 inches, and just put them on one of the spokes that go straight, you know, this can be used for, if you take the sign off, you could use it if you had a mountain cabin year round. It doesn't have to be limited to just, you know, what that is.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would probably add one more zip tie. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, that's good right there, yeah.
No, I was just like, there it goes. Okay, that's it. That's the bike frame, bike wheel. What would you call it?
Yeah.
Bike whim,
Vintage bike wheel Christmas.
swaggy, whatever. So, any questions you guys have about that? If you can get picks like this when it goes on clearance at the end of the season, pick these up, because you will use them the following year at Christmas, and then you'll already be one step ahead of the game.
And this is already up on her Etsy page.
Yep.
Robin said that'll sell quickly. It's beautiful, Kat.
I'm only making one, so like this is the last one. So I did one for patriotic, I did one for fall, we did an orange one for fall,
Yeah.
and then we did the red one because I was like torn between should I do green, and I was like, well, if I put greenery on it, you're gonna lose the rim in the process.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like toying with white. Should we do white and do more snow? Again, the same process. You lose the greenery in that. So, any other questions?
Thanks, and have a nice
Otherwise-
weekend, everyone. Thanks for spending the evening with us, Kat and Steve. Thank you all.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Well, have a great weekend. Private group, I'll see you Sunday at 3. Set your alarms just in case Facebook's playing funky with us. 3 Pacific, 5 Central, 7, right? No, 3, 5, and 6 on Sunday. Okay. All right, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye.